Hey, I'm Mike Stride from Girls Love Football, and I'm with Abby Ingram. We're today at a charity match for Girls United. Can you tell us about today?
Yeah, the players are out here fundraising. They've supported pre-match, and the main focus is to get girls more accessible to football, so reducing their financial barriers and supporting more.
Okay, and who's playing today? What teams?
A mixture of players from kind of supporting teams, staff members, people that have played kind of locally as well. So yeah, it's a good mix of people.
Okay, and what's the score so far?
I think it's about 7-2. So if you're going to interview a Blue, maybe be a little bit gentle with them right now.
Okay, so can you talk to us a little bit about Girls United, how long it's been going for, what it's all about, where you're based?
Yeah, so we have two teams. We have a team out in Mexico and a team in London, which is really exciting. The team in London started in 2018, the team in Mexico 2017. So this season we had our 5-year anniversary for the London team, which is really cool, going into our 6th season. And we're based in Southwark, Lambeth and Lewisham. And yeah, kind of where we are right now is one of our core venues for delivery.
Who was the inspiration behind starting this, and how long has your involvement been with it?
Yeah, so Romina, our CEO and founder, her inspiration was how can we make football accessible, which is why we started in Mexico first. That's kind of where she grew up, kind of where she was based, and wanted to give the opportunity. And then I joined in 2019, so just before the pandemic and all the closures and stuff like that. But yeah, been here for a few seasons now.
Okay, and what's your personal journey with football? When did you first get into it?
Yeah, I played. My dad's upstairs. Hopefully he'll be watching this after. But yeah, he kind of took me around. My family all love football. My young brother, my mum had to get involved. And I played pretty local. I played for Crystal Palace, not too far away. So some of the players that I know as well are here supporting, which is really nice. And I think, from that, I always knew that I wanted to be in football, but kind of playing had to take a bit of a back step. And once I realised I could earn some money on the sidelines, it was pretty exciting to do that. So yeah.
So what do you see yourself now? Are you a coach or a player?
Definitely a coach, yeah. Don't play anymore, which is probably for the best for my own injuries.
Okay, and what barriers did you have to getting to play football as a girl and a woman?
Yeah, I probably don't think, I didn't think about it too much as a kid. It was when I got older, I got to retrospectively consider what was happening and what support I didn't have. Definitely being a female in primary school, I was the only girl on the team. Luckily, a lot of my peers were really supportive, and actually a lot of the families, but I still had to face against kind of other parents making comments, and I think the brunt mostly went to my parents, who had to hear it on the sidelines. I was probably a little bit protected, but also just I grew up in Croydon, things were always up and down, a little bit financially, moving, but we had a lot of support as an individual family. And what I want to do now is be able to do that for more people.
Okay, how have you seen the game evolve in the time that you've been involved in it?
Yeah, obviously with the WSL and the things changing at the professional level, and the Lionesses having the success they did at the Euros and the World Cup, I think that level is definitely developing. And what we want to do is make sure that is filtered into the community and filtered into this kind of grassroots accessibility, but also to ensure that they have the opportunity to inspire and feel that they can go and achieve that as well. So I think the growth in spectators, the growth in number of players is really exciting, and I think it's more how can we make sure it stays at a high standard for all involved.
Okay, and considering back to when you were younger and you were playing, the barriers you had, how much has that improved, you think, for girls now, or there's still a lot of barriers for girls?
I think there's definitely still really similar barriers, but I think they're a little bit more complex now, because the world we live in is a little bit more complex, whether that's social media, whether that's the peer pressures. But I think in terms of opportunity, there definitely seems to be more people coming together to drive that. And I think now it's making sure that girls understand that there is opportunity versus trying to create it, and actually feeling that they can make those decisions versus it being made for them. And I think for myself, my dad had to go start my team and stuff like that, whereas there's a lot of, even locally, even teams here today supporting us, Affinley and stuff like that. I think that's really nice that we have this collective coming together from a grassroots perspective for girls football, and ensure that there are spaces for them to play.
Okay, and how do you think we can now improve it so it gets better and better for girls to play football?
Yeah, like I said, I think for me it's definitely around quality assurance and standardising high levels of provision, whether that's accessibility, whether it's facilities, changing rooms, through to quality of coaches. I think it's as it grows, making sure we're at a space, whether that's with the FA or as an organisation or individual clubs, it's a space where it doesn't lose its quality, and actually it is of purpose and it's fit for purpose for the girls that are taking part.
You're part of a group, aren't you, in the London FA Council, the Women and Girls group.
Yeah.
What do you think could be improved on the governance side of the game? for girls?
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I think like you hear really like constant things like venues, facilities. I think, you know, with the London FA like expanding their Girls Cup, I think that was a really positive step in the last year, and actually like those things need to continue to grow. And I think it's ensuring that they remain on the agendas of people making decisions. So whether that's the sponsors, whether it's the commercial, and they stay on those points so the team at London FA or, you know, individual clubs or leagues can go and use that and utilise that for real impact.
Okay, and how about educational establishments like schools and that? Do you think there's more they could be doing?
I think, yes, I think like schools in general like are really like challenge themselves in terms of resources, in terms of how big some of the classes are. And I think, again, it's coming together and working with organisations like ourselves or others to help like drive together. There's a bit of exciting behind us now. Yeah, drive together and like share resources. Yeah, I think the schools, you know, should continue to drive together in terms of like sharing resources and sharing good practice, and I think that makes it easier for them. And I think, you know, the ones we're working in are really like proactive in what their legacy is in a school, whether that's, you know, the playground during lunchtimes or whether that's the after school clubs. But I think the more that they can do and the more they can show like role models to the boys and the girls, I think will then make society change as well as like kind of individual change.
Okay, and looking at the future, I mean, how do you see the future for the girls' game, and how do you see the future for yourself within the game?
Yeah, I think for the girls overall, I think it's really exciting. Like I said, I think there's really good, like positive, like moments going forward, and there's been some really like historical changes and adjustments and developments, which is really, really nice. I think the more that they can continue to have a voice and they can continue to see themselves, even more will happen. And it's just asking those girls to keep breaking those ceilings that have been broken before me, during my time, and after my time. And I think that's like what's most exciting, knowing that this isn't the final product of girls football. And I think for myself, like from a Girls United perspective, we're going into a new season. We've got some really exciting plans to discuss with the people, like you mentioned, like with the schools, with the teams. And I think for us, it's about how we can ensure that we're having deepened impact, but also like real kind of broad reach and visibility for each girl to see themselves be able to play.
Quickly on Girls United, are you a South London-based club, or are you based sort of further afield? I know you're in Mexico, but apart
Mexico definitely, which is a little bit further apart, but yeah, predominantly South London, so Southwark, Lewisham, Lambeth. But we're looking at how we can start to expand that through mostly our schools program to ensure that there's like even bigger reach and direct reach. Yeah.
Okay, and just fine. Could you just quickly talk about the schools program, what that entails, and what you do there?
Yeah, so our schools program is powered by Nike. We work in 15 primary schools last season. We go in and deliver workshops and activations for the girls. And then for the boys, we also do kind of assemblies around like role models, International Women's Day. And it's around really engaging girls that maybe don't feel confident at that moment in time, and how they can build their confidence, become more active, and then they can engage with other programs like Play Like a Girl, which is a drop-in social satellite program, or our more traditional club program. So our schools program is really, really important in terms of like ensuring that every girl has the opportunity to be active and like kind of like live a healthy lifestyle, and it not just be football focused, but like build that confidence. And then we look to then map out how they can be supported in like beyond the school space.
Okay, and what would your advice be to any young girls thinking of getting involved in football in any capacity? It doesn't have to be playing coach, it could be like other sides of it, medicine, whatever. What's your advice? Yeah,
like you said, there's loads of different opportunities for the girls that they can get involved, whether that's on pitch and off pitch. And I think like even looking at Girls United, it demonstrates how that is happening from my role through to the people behind me and those that coach on a daily. I think my kind of go-to advice would be like, just have a go and just try your hardest. I think for me in general, like if you were trying your hardest, then no one can really like challenge that. And I think as long as you try hard to push yourself, then yeah, you'll do what you need to do.
That's fantastic stuff. Thanks a lot.